Look, we got a lot to cover today, and of course, just our hearts are so heavy. We all went to bed last night with the grim news that this unthinkable thing happened at Reagan. You know, I was obviously, those of us went to the inauguration. We just went in and out of Reagan, and I know you've gone in and out of Reagan many times. There is an issue about its location, its proximity to the district, and how really harrowing every approach is into Reagan National. And it has to do largely with the lawmakers who love the airport being right where it is.
It is a badly placed, harrowing, I don't want to say dangerous airport, but it ain't ideal. It'll never move because the other Washington airport option is Dulles, which is 45 minutes out to the west, which would make perfect sense. But nobody in Congress, or anybody in the cabinet or anybody at the White House wants to schlep all the way out to Dulles. They want to go across the bridge and be at National in 15 minutes, which you can do.
I was talking to my seatmate going into Reagan last week for the inauguration, and I said, now watch this approach. It's going to be really intriguing. And it is. They bank one way. We're going to get pilots on the show today as well. I'm going to catch up with my buddy Captain Will Smith, who of Will Smith Aviation here in Tampa Bay, Florida. He's gone in and out of Reagan many times. And your pilots, I've been listening to your pilots talking about their experience, and I've been struck about North Texas because, as I understand it, the community that Denise and the kids and I called home, South Lake, was largely built because of the presence of American Airlines at DFW.
From South Lake to Euless to, when DFW, I guess, kicked off circa 1971. The number of human beings that were going to be employed there, it is its own city. And so it, of course, affected development within a 10-mile radius, to be sure. Yeah.
Let's talk about the ugliness of this awful catastrophe, and that is the politicization of an airplane crash. And look, our side isn't immune from it. Let's just stipulate we had knuckleheads on our side saying, oh, DEI in the control tower. Not the time. The bodies aren't even out of the river yet. And to weaponize an event like this to try to score political points one way or the other, I'm not trying to be holier than thou, but knock it off. Yeah. And we from the Nashville journalist who was blasting Trump, and then he took the Post down to
what did he say? What are you talking about?
Oh, it's the same crap about Trump's policies, hiring freezes, and all this nonsense. I mean, the man's been in office 9 days. There's nothing Trump has done in a week and a half that could have anything to do with what happened last night.
And yet, because I think you're going to go to one post, and I'll let you share it because you very kindly attached me to it, and as an example of Trump hatred making nice people mean and smart people stupid. But as I went to bed last night, I had a political thought of my own, and I had a thought about the aftermath of this under Trump and Pete Hegseth with the Department of Defense and Sean Duffy at Transportation. And I found myself grateful that we do have an administration that I believe, in the fog of speculation and with the mystery of an impending investigation and so many questions, I have the confidence that we have an administration that will shoot straight with us. And that's confidence I have not had for 4 years. We talked about this a couple of days ago. It took Caroline Leavitt like 30 seconds at the thing to say, oh, the drones were totally ours. The FAA knew it, and they just didn't tell you. So we find.
And why didn't they? Why didn't they?
Right,
what could possibly? I'm not asking that as a rhetorical question. Why would they keep that from the American people? Yeah. I mean, the Trump administration took 5 minutes to say, "Here's what this was." Yeah. The Biden administration kept us in the dark. Why?
So I'm grateful that we've got people in power now that, as we go through tough times like this, which we will, that we have. I really believe we have people who, if there's something squirrely about the military aircraft or those pilots or anything that we learn that's nefarious or weird or strange, we have an open and transparent administration at last that will shoot straight with us. And now here's Mike with someone who feels differently. That you want to go ahead and I hate to give idiots like this attention.
I don't even like to give it a lot of oxygen. In fact, the problem is I'm really making some editorial decisions today. For example, when I take to the air with Salem News Channel and the video side of what we do, like we're not unlike what we're doing right now on X, I refuse to let my team play any video of the actual impact. And I thought about this when I went to bed last night, and I'll tell you why. Somebody's wife was on that plane. Yes. Somebody's husband, somebody's dad, son. Yep. There are loved ones. There are at least, well, I'm sure it sounds like there are 68 souls that died that moment. I don't like playing that. I don't want to show that impact. I understand we are in the information business and we can analyze and we can break things down, but I told Christian, no video of the crash. Because of where it is, there are already tons of videos that have been released. You know, there was a webcam from the Kennedy Center, and admittedly, I will tell you, and you and I talked about this last night, one of the videos appears to show the helicopter streaking across the sky directly into the jet. Like one of your pilots said, you don't have a lot of leverage on how you're doing the approach. In fact, did the pilot, incidentally, quick diversion here, and pardon me for I digress, did the pilot tell you I refuse to go in on runway 33?
Yeah, he said, I don't want to do 33 at Reagan National.
Well, yeah, they're allowed to do, the pilots can do that.
That's what I said. You get to wave off stuff. I said, yeah, pretty well. Wow, the power. I don't
want to question his veracity there, but that seems like a really hinky system. Well, I don't feel like flying in on runway 29 today. Give me 27. What? Yeah, you go where they tell you to go, or else you're going to have chaos. I don't quite understand that.
I don't think you get to do it on the fly, so to speak, like with 30 seconds to spare, but maybe well in advance. Now,
maybe he picks it out. Yeah,
on the imagery, you brought up something really important that I support you on 100%. Is such a video newsworthy? Of course it is. So if you have a news network, and obviously Salem News Channel is a news network, but we're running talk shows all day like yours and others, et cetera. So is there justification in showing it on a CNN, a Fox News? Yes, there is, because
yes,
and for loved ones, I might say don't watch cable news because you might see your loved ones die on TV 14 times. Now the thing is, though, however, but is the decision you've made. Here we are, morning after, you're showing B-roll alongside your discussions. Do you need to show it 35 times? No, you don't, and that is a very thoughtful and proper decision that you have made.
Well, I'm also not going to play the interview, a heartbreaking interview, and I just got emotional when I saw this poor young husband who was interviewed by a reporter at Reagan who was getting texts from his wife on the plane moments before they landed. And he's showing the reporter her texts. And I thought, I can't even begin. Look, all of us have had loss in our lives. We've all experienced heartache. This poor guy is telling the reporter, I haven't heard anything. I hope they're pulling her out of the water. Now, I'm not going to exploit that. I'm just not going to play that. I told Christian when we go, every day we go through a process of what videos we're going to show, what we're going to air, what we're not. I'm not airing that. I'm not.
So. But I would throw in, as journalism 101, I would throw in, does a reporter get to ask somebody that? Yes. And the guy with a loved one on the plane can say, get lost. Or if he does talk to the cameras and the microphones, that is something you can run. Now, this, however,
but like you said, wait a minute, real quick. Let's stipulate. And you said something that's important, and I want to reiterate this. We're different. We're a talk show. We do cover breaking news, what to make of it all, but it's our show, and we can make editorial decisions. And I'm just going to respect the families right now. There are 68 families right now that are going through the unimaginable, and I just want to respect that. So go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
They deserve better than this. I'm not even going to mention the guy's name. He shows up on social media every once in a while. Shocker, Trump hater, so whatever, and shares this. Needless to say, at a time like this, you really wish you had some confidence that the head of the DOD, Department of Defense, had some clue of how to lead an organization. A Blackhawk right on the Pentagon's back porch and in the approach path of a major domestic airport. We need answers. Shut up, you moron. Bagging on Pete, taking this moment to bag on what all Pete Hegseth has done is said, look, prayers for everybody. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Investigation's underway, which is exactly the proper thing to do. So just, I literally
said, Mark Davis. It's the Mark Davis rule. Nice people get mean.
Smart people stupid. Pray for people who are this bent. Pray for people whose petty, stupid political hatreds lead them to post garbage like this.
Well, and they should largely be ignored. Yesterday, also in Washington, D.C., of course, Bobby Kennedy Jr., I've got a little bit of a different take than you do. I sense a little bit of reticence on your part. I thought he was spectacular.
He was great.
Oh, good.
He batted it down with enormous skill. They tried to poke at him, and it did. He was hitting home run.
How about Bernie with the onesies?
I know. Look at these onesies. It says no vax, no problem. Do you support these onesies? Marty,
do you support the onesies?
It's like, what?
And Megyn Kelly was in the background. She was over Bobby Kennedy's right shoulder, and it was classic because you saw Megyn just laughing hysterically. Now, Bernie Sanders thought that was such a good idea. He had signs made and everything of the onesies.
Do you like the
onesies? Do you like the onesies?
Will you take these off the market? Will you take them off the market?
My gosh. If that doesn't guarantee his confirmation, I don't know what does. But here's the problem. We're going to go back to Mitch McConnell. We're going to go back to Susan Collins. We're going to go back to Lisa Murkowski. And it's only going to take one more, and he doesn't make it, and that's going to be a big blow.
You know who it might be? Republican Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, who is a doctor and has that doctor's ego thing going. And by the way, if you're a doctor, you deserve to have a pretty big ego. But this, I don't know. I think that I don't trust these people.
But let's admit, doctors always have outsized egos.
You know what? If you survive medical school
and
you have life, in fact, and pardon this quick aside, I mentioned The Pit, the show that's on, I don't know what the PITT with Noah Wiley from ER.
Oh, yeah.
Third episode of that. It is so incredible. And it gives you the thought, this is people's lives every day. Life, they save lives. They see life end. There's an older gentleman.
Oh, please. I put my life on the line every day with this show.
Exactly.
Come on.
We get
I'm risking life and
so good.
limb.
The Pit, PITT, I think it's on HBO Max or some such, Noah Wiley. It is fantastic.
Well, anyway. And the Kennedy thing comes down to one thing. They just don't trust him on his vaccine skepticism, and he shares the same skepticism we all do. Yep. I did a thing yesterday. Should I get a flu shot or not? 98% of people on social media said it's got the mRNA in it. You're going to have an eyeball. People don't like that, and I'm not getting it. You know what I did yesterday? I was in the chair. I got my IV treatment. I got my flu my flu kicker.
Chelation mic shows up now.
Oh yeah, I'm in the red room. I got laser beams. I got laser beams. I got light. I'm not doing the flu shot. That's for me. But hey, like they say, my body, my choice.
Body, my choice. So you'll do that witch doctor chelation stuff, but no flu shot. And I'm kidding. I'm half kidding.
Half kidding. Now, this week, we got to get ready for Tulsi Gabbard.
Yes.
The secret vote.
How's that?
I don't know. I got doubts about that. Kash Patel, get out the popcorn because
what are your Tulsi doubts about Tulsi's worthiness or doubts about whether she'll succeed in
As I understand, the Tulsi Gabbard vote is the one that will be held in secret. Now, why that is, I don't quite fully understand that.
That's not
but
good.
No one's going to have to answer whether they voted or not. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
I better know exactly how my senator and how every senator did on everything.
We got a new administration with a ton of transparency, and you nailed it. Trump posted something on social media last night. It's like, he's just like a guy.
Yeah.
He's not you talk about the people's president. I mean, we were all doing this, speculating about what did this look like, and that's what he did. He said the helicopter went straight for the plane, and why didn't it go up? Why didn't it go down? But that's a normal, average American asking, how could this happen? And it's our president. Sorry, we love that. We love that about him. So here we go. All right. Well, we're prayers out for everybody involved and the first responders who are doing an amazing job. So God bless them all. All right. Hang in there, Mark.
Appreciate you. Mike's show starts as soon as we're done at 10 right here on 660 AM. The Answer.